friends, I just wanted to share with you what I learned in church today. So we are going through the book of Acts. We've been going through it for a long time, but it's been great. What I really like is that, you know, my preference, a lot of churches seem to do like a topical study, and then they find all these verses that kind of like feed into whatever that topic is, love, whatever, and then you find a bunch of verses. But there seems to be a disconnect. I really like that we go through the stories and then the topics kind of reveal themselves, the themes kind of come out. So we're dealing with Paul. It's the whole one of the conspiracies to kill him. And you have to remember that Paul used to be Saul, so he used to actually persecute Christians, but then he had a revelation on the road to Damascus, and now he's like, Jesus Christ #1 super fan, and he's getting in a lot of trouble for it. People are trying to kill him, stone him, starve him, whatever. So at this point, he's been captured, and they are taking him to the council. Brad was just talking about how terrible it was to be tortured in this way, and that you would think that Paul would have told them up front, I'm a Roman citizen, because it is illegal to torture a Roman citizen without him having his due process, without him actually being convicted of something. But Paul's over here just already strapped up, and they're like, are you a Roman citizen? And he's like, yeah, I am. It's like, yeah, they were about to do that to me, I'd be screaming every sort of thing I got, everything I'm good at, everything I possibly think that I have. So it's important to note that Paul goes on to say in 22:28, he says, I was born a citizen. So that just kind of reinforces he grew up with an education. He's like, this is old hat to me. My dad was a Pharisee. Like, I could teach the courses of Pharisees to the other Pharisees. Like, that's how good I am. That's what Paul's saying. And so, they're about to, and so they're like, okay, we're not gonna kill him right now. We need to figure out what the problem is. So, in verse 23, chapter 23, verse 1, then Paul, looking earnestly at the council, said, Men and brethren, I have lived in all good conscience before God until this day. So that language is a little bit complicated to understand, but he was saying, I'm holy. And we don't know anyone that, not even super Christians, I don't think they say I'm holy. I've never met people that go around saying that they're holy. Yeah. Feel like, we can give ourselves good attributes. I'm generous, I'm this, but holy, it's like, wow, that's really up there. So this really makes the Sadducees and the Pharisees, they're tearing off their clothes and throwing up sand or whatever it is that they do, and they're losing it because they are like, you are not perfect, but what Paul is saying, what they're missing out on is because of what Jesus did, I have been redeemed. I have a clear conscience before God because of what Jesus, because he saved me. And, they're not there. They're not getting that. They're not getting that we're a people saved by grace because, right, all this time they've been trying to follow 631 rules or something like that. Like, it's really impossible anyway. So yeah, Paul's saying that, and they're crazy. And they actually like pop him in the mouth. After they hit him in the mouth, then Paul says, God will strike you, you whitewashed wall. So you think about that. What is a white, something that's whitewashed? It's like it looks good on the outside, but no good on the inside. And basically that brings us back to hypocrisy, right? And, we talked about how people want to say that their church hurt, or, the church hurt them, or they don't want to go to church because it's full of a bunch of hypocrites. And we say, we have room for you too. Because we're all hypocrites. Like, everyone's a hypocrite, like, no matter what. So, we really can't be acting like we're so much better than everyone else. But we do anyways. Paul continues to talk to them. And in 23:6, he says, Men and brethren, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee. Concerning the hope and resurrection of the dead, I am being judged. So essentially, he's like, look, I'm one of you. Not only am I one of you, like I'm a Pharisee of a Pharisee. I know this stuff. The only reason that you guys are having a problem with me is because I'm talking about the resurrection, and y'all don't like that. So I mean, he's very aware of what's going on. I mean, just really how discouraged he must be, right, to be doing the right thing. We talked about how during his lifetime, I don't think he made any converts. Can you imagine going through everything that he went through and not seeing the fruits of your labor, like, in your lifetime? That would be really difficult, especially because most of us are not going through anything close to what Paul's going through, and we're still like, woe is me. We talked about how Paul gets saved, like, miraculously again, right? Like, he keeps getting this close to death, and then something happens, and that's just, should reinforce how God's got it. Like, it's his battle. We don't have to fight things in our own will. We're reminded of the Tower of Babel, where, man thought that he was bigger than God and didn't need God, and God just sprinkled some languages all over him, right? And it's like, okay, now what are you going to do? So it's a good reminder to know that God puts people in power. He rearranges things. He's in control. Like, got that song, he's got the whole world in his hands. I want to read you I want to close with 23:11. It's a really good story. You should read it. But the following night, the Lord stood by him and said, "Be of good cheer, Paul, for as you have testified for me in Jerusalem, so you must also bear witness at Rome." It's not over. It is not over. The battle's not over, but I'm with you. We ended the service with the old school hymn, "What a Friend We Have in Jesus." And we really do. And that's what we need to soak in. We need to get in our brain, because we have been fed so much. I mean, it's not until you actually start trying to quiet your mind and listen to your thoughts that you realize, oh my gosh, if you're anything like me, and I think most people are like this, it's like, my goodness, there's a lot of negativity and just ick thoughts about myself, about others, whatever. And I do not need to carry all that around. Like, that is not what we're being told to do. I mean, even in that song, we talk about, let's not forfeit our peace so that we can have fear in our lives. So, I think that a lot of these concepts they're timeless, but we think our problems are so unique. But the same things have been happening for a very long time, and God has been telling us the same thing. Do not fear. I am with you. What a friend we have in Jesus. So I hope you feel encouraged. I do. I'll see you next time.